Hello everyone, I'm Pam Cheek. I'm a travel agent with many years of experience and I have been to Alaska many times. Today I'm getting ready to go to Alaska again and I thought I'd bring you along for some of my packing. What I'd really like to help you with today is 5 most important things to remember when you're packing for Alaska. If you are looking for more in-depth information, let me give a shout out to Arlen Funderburg. You can find her on YouTube and she does a very complete packing job, especially if you're looking for a cruise tour as opposed to just a cruise. Today we're just doing a cruise, so it's a little simplified, and let's see what I have for you today. So the first thing I want to talk about is weather in Alaska and being prepared. Alaska is sunshine, 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 but it's also a rainforest. And so in the summer, you're going to have very little darkness and you're going to have a lot of light. On the other hand, you could have rain on any given day. It's often just a light sprinkle, but at other times it can come down pretty hard. So when you go to Alaska, you need to pack to be ready. If you're going to Glacier Bay, you need to be ready for some very cold weather. Consider in the old days when they would put a big old block of ice and a fan to blow across it to cool their houses. I know, I'm old, but before AC, that's what we used, was ice and fan. Now think about this massive ice with the wind blowing across it, and it creates its own weather. So when you're right in front of Marjorie Glacier, you're probably going to want to bundle up. Let's talk about the things I take. Layers, layers, layers. Throw out the idea that you're going to the Arctic Circle for months and months and months. This is not an expedition tour, it's a cruise, and you're going to need warm clothes, but not all the time. So we're going to talk layers. That way you can take them on, take them off, and be comfortable all the time. My first layer is light shirts like what I'm wearing right now, and I have 5 light shirts packed for my week. I have 2 long sleeve shirts packed for my week. Those are my bottom layer. Then the next layer would be my sweet little vest, which I could put on, and if your core is warm, you're going to be warm. That's so important. The other thing that's important is your socks. I recommend that you have wool socks, and let me tell you, wool socks have the most amazing features. They keep your feet both cool when it's hot and warm when it's cold, and amazingly enough, they can be worn multiple days. I can tell you that's true because I've done it, and they don't pick up smells and they stay very fresh. Wool is an amazing product. So Dennis and I both have wool socks for the trip, and between the wool socks and my layers, let's look at my next layer. Dennis and I both have these kinds of coats. They're lightweight. They're not water proof, but they are water resistant, and they have a hood and a lining, but they're not super heavy, great big. They pack very easily, they pack down light, and this would be layer number 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 layers. We also take along our hats. Dennis has this little fun hat that the ears come down, and I just have a regular hat, and so these are our friends and they go with us. And gloves. And one of the things that I recommend for gloves is that you get some that these are designed so that you can take pictures on your camera with your glove on. You don't have to take your gloves off. They're not just mittens. They have this little part that makes it easy to take pictures, because I have to take pictures all the time. So Dennis and I each have a pair of gloves to take. So let's talk about day packs. When you're going out in Alaska, you never know when the weather's going to change or what you're going to need. Take along a day pack, and I like these little portable packable ones that you can zip up, and they pack really easy, but when you get there you can unfold it and put your things in it. Super lightweight. So in my day pack I'm going to have ponchos. These are super cheap and super easy, and you can put them over the top of all the layers, and that's my waterproofing. They're reusable, and if they happen to get a hole in them, you can get rid of them. But these are super easy to carry, lightweight, don't take up much room. I also have shoe covers that can go over our tennis shoes, and these are have bottoms that are not slick, so you can walk on stones or whatever that are wet, and they come up and keep your shoes dry. If my feet are dry, I'm a happy camper. Also in my day pack, I carry my little scarf that I can pull out at any time and put around my neck and keep me nice and warm. And other things that go in my day pack, you can get some bottled water as you leave the ship. Take your water with you, don't get dehydrated. My umbrella and some sunscreen. Remember, sun in Alaska, there's hardly any dark. So if you've got skin that needs to be protected, be sure and take some good sunscreen. All right, so let's talk now about what we would take along for clothing for on the ship, as well as excursion use, but mostly for what you might want on the ship. And as I mentioned before, I have a couple of long sleeve shirts. I've got some short sleeve shirts. And for formal nights, we have 2 shirts for Dennis to wear that are buttoned down with sleeves. And this trip I just got 2 new dresses and I'm sneaking them in. I don't usually take anything quite this fancy, but I'm having fun. So those are going with me. This is part of my clothes, everything for formal nights and my extra things for on the ship that are going to go in my big bag. Now, people ask all the time, you know, what's the deal with formal night? At formal night, Princess requests or recommends that you dress up, that you look a little bit nicer, that it's a fun night to be more formal. They don't have strict guidelines about that, and you will see people who are dressed in formals, all spangly, sparkly, having a wonderful time. And then you'll see people that are not quite as formal, like my husband is not going to wear a jacket, and they don't require a jacket, but many men will have jackets. Dennis is not a jacket guy, and so he's going to have his button-down shirt and Dockers, and we've got a nice pair of shoes here for him to wear on formal nights, so that he's a little bit nicer, kind of like if you were going out to a nice dinner. On other nights, jeans are appropriate in the main dining room, and they ask that you not wear frayed jeans. Leave your stretched out jeans home and take a nice pair and you'll be fine. Now, I've put part of my clothes in this one, zip them up. This is going to go in my check bag. And let's talk about shoes a minute for on the ship. I'm taking my tennis shoes, which I will wear. They're my comfortable walking shoes. And they're the ones that when I'm off the ship and running around, I will be wearing because they're safe to wear and they are good for my feet. On the ship, I like to be a little more casual, and also with my dresses, dress up a little bit. And so I'm taking 1 pair of flip-flops, and I'm taking 1 pair of comfy shoes, and that is all, folks. 3 pairs of shoes. Nobody's going to care if you have different shoes every day except maybe you. So pare it down, ladies. We really don't need to have a different pair of shoes for every day on the ship. And by going down to this is it. That's all my shoes are going to take up in my suitcase, is that one little bag. And then I'll be wearing on the plane my tennis shoes. So those are going to be in here. These are going to be in here. The other things, of course, that are going to be in my big bag is this is all my underwear in here. My extra pants, Dennis's extra shirts, Dennis's extra pants. Dennis loves to have a little battery operated fan, so it's in here. And that's all, believe it or not, going to fit just fine. The other thing about clothing is that you always want, when you're traveling, you always want to have a plan for if this luggage doesn't show up. And that means you should have 2 to 3 days of clothes in your carry-on with you. all the time. That does not mean you need 3 pairs of pants, 3 shirts, 3 everything. It means I have 1 extra pair of pants, I have 3 shirts. If my clothes didn't show up, I have underwear for 3 days, I have my nightgown in there, I have everything of value in there. So my jewelry's in there, my CPAP is in there. We'll talk about electronics here in a minute, but make sure you carry on all the things that you need when you first get on the ship and for at least 3 days in case something happens to your suitcase with the flights. And trust me, I've had it happen and other people have had it happen. So plan ahead. Don't be that person that gets caught off guard with no clothes to wear. Okay, let's talk about electronics, and we have a lot of electronics when we travel. So I love my surge protector. This is approved by the cruise lines because it does not have a surge protector in it. And surge protectors can mess up the electrical system of the ship, and we do not want to mess up the electrical system of the ship. So make sure you take one that does not have a surge protector. And I love this one because I can plug in 3 different things here, and I can plug in all my little cords here. So that goes all the time, and Dennis has one too. We have one on both sides of the bed just for our own ease. Then I always take a external power pack for my phone, because there is nothing worse than getting to the end of the day on an excursion and it's the best picture of the day and your phone battery's dead. So make sure that you have a good external charger. Don't forget to take the little cord that recharges it, and make sure you have a cord attached to your phone, because it doesn't do any good if you're out there and you can't attach it. So this will end up in my day pack and go with me everywhere. We also take an extension cord. You can ask Princess to provide an extension cord for you, but we have had cases where we got there and didn't have it the first day, and because we have CPAPs, we really need to get plugged in, so we just take a little one with us. It doesn't take up that much space. And of course I have our CPAPs, and I'll show you our little, real quick, our little portable CPAPs. I love them. I love my portable CPAPs, and they will just plug right in there. They don't take up a huge amount of room, so we're able to put them right inside of our carry-on suitcase, which is super convenient. And I do have a battery pack so that if the power were to go out for any reason, or if I'm wanting to use it on a night flight on the airplane, which I do, people don't care, you can plug it in. Now let's talk about documents and the things that you're going to need to remember to do before you leave home. This is probably the most important thing. Everything else you can do without, but you cannot get on the ship if you don't have your passports, or if you're traveling round trip from Seattle, you might be traveling with your birth certificate and a government issued ID. We have this nice little pack that we keep our passports in. We print out our travel summary, which you can print from the your personalizer, and please take a copy of it with you, because the personalizer shut down once you're on the ship and you won't be able to access it. So print a copy, take your travel documents all together, and these are my little containers for my medallion, and they clip on just like that. The medallion's going to sit right in there, and so we have our little medallion clips. I did buy these on a Princess ship. I love them, and they fit perfectly. And then the other thing is you're going to want your luggage tags, and you don't put your luggage tags on until you get to the ship. Don't put them on for the airplane. The airplane doesn't care about these. But when you get ready to leave your luggage off at the ships, you're going to want your luggage tags. When you print them out, they're in the same place as the travel summary. When you print them out, you're going to have a page like this, and you just fold it, and you fold it over like that, and you have a nice little small area that tells you where your cabin is. And if you want, you can just have them staple it on at the port. They will do that for you, and a lot of people do that. That's the instructions. But I'm a little bit overkill, and I want mine inside of a holder. So you just fold it up and slide it into the holder. You can buy these holders on Amazon. There are all kinds of them. And once it's in, there's a little zip tie thing there, and this unscrews. You put it on your suitcase, and it's very sturdy. So actually on this trip, we're only probably going to be turning in our big suitcase, and so we'll probably only need one because we're going with just one large suitcase, 2 roller bags, small roller bags, and Dennis and I will each have a personal item, and that'll be it. Most important thing to remember, again, anything you need right away, have it in your carry-on. Please do not put medical equipment in your check bags. Please do not put your passports in your check bags. Make sure that you have all your travel documents, all your medical, whether that's medicines or CPAPs or any other medical equipment. Keep it with you at all times. Never let that go, because you don't know what's going to happen and things do get lost. So make sure that those stay with you at all times. If you get on the ship, you can take your carry-ons on the ship with you, and there's an area where they'll let you put them on the ship while you go have some lunch until your room is ready, so you don't have to turn them in at the dock. I keep those things with me because I've had my luggage not show up till 8 o'clock at night after the ship was already moving, and that made me a little nervous, but they got it to me. It was just running late, so know that those things can happen. But if you want it, have it with you. If you want to go to the pool first day, which you might, make sure you have your swimsuit in your carry-on so that you have it handy. Anything you want right away must be with you. Don't let it go. And so Bobble Pam is coming with me. It's her first trip to Alaska, and I just want to remind you that I'm Pam Cheek. I'm loving the journey. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel, and I hope this was helpful for your packing as well. Thanks for watching. See you soon.